Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of X to Interact. I'm Sam. I am here with Gaff, Steven, and Eric. We're all here this week. Finally, it's been a while since I think we've all been here together. So we're excited to talk about some video game adaptations that we might want to see. But before we get into that, let me tell you where you can find us. You can find us on right here, live on twitch.tv/xtointeract, where we record every episode at around 11-ish Eastern time on Sundays, usually 11:30. And you can find us on Twitter at xtointeract. You can find us everywhere. Just look up xtointeract. You can go to our website, podpage.com/xtointeract, which has every link that you ever need and more. And make sure you check out our YouTube. That's where we put all our videos there, and so more than just the podcast goes on there. So that is a good time. Let's get into talking about video game adaptations. The Last of Us ended last week, so thought it'd be a good idea.
It was pretty mid, right, Sam?
Pretty mid, yeah, pretty mid. Pretty mid. But yeah, it got us thinking about what other video game adaptations we might want to see. And I think we've touched on this a little bit in the past, but we kind of just did it at like a surface level. We kind of just threw out like, oh, we want to see this adapted. We want to see this adapted. I want like each one of us to talk about one video game we want adapted a little bit more specifically here. Like what kind of adaptation? What do you want the adaptation to cover? You know, do you want it to cover the whole game? Do you want it to explore something different in the same universe as a game? Stuff like that. I'll start to give a good example here. Well, I think it's a good example. Let me get my notes out here because I forgot to get my notes out before. My idea is a game that I have been replaying again, is Mass Effect, of course, my favorite gaming trilogy. And, you know, apparently this thing is happening. There is a Mass Effect show happening. So I really hope the people that are going to be making this game or this show are listening. And first off, don't do Shepard's. Don't do Shepard's story, please. Please don't. The choices that you make in that are just like way too important to adapt into a show or a movie.
There's so many other stories with Mass Effect, like other aliens.
Exactly. That's where I'm going, Stephen. Our heads, you know, there's so many different stories. And so what I would like is for a show that kind of sets up Shepard's story. So all like, because there's so much lore in like the codex and stuff in the game. So I want a show that's like based on the codex essentially. So now that I said that out loud, I was going to call it Mass Effect Adventures because that's super generic, but maybe we just call it Mass Effect Codex.
Oh.
So each season, I'm talking what? I have like 5 seasons laid out here or something. Each season is a different like story. It's more of like a mini series type thing with several episodes though, you know? I don't know what to call that. Anthology? Is that what an anthology is? So yeah, each season a different story. So I'm talking the first season, finding the Citadel. The Asari and the Solarians, they find the Citadel, they set it up. It's kind of like shows you how the current like galactic civilization started. How this cycle started. And then the second season is the Rachni War. So this is where the Krogan, the Solarians breed the Krogans to fight. It's fucked up. They like teach them space travel and shit. And just to fight the Rachni, who are like an alien threat. I'm getting nerdy here, clearly. And my one necessity for that season is that John Cena, The Rock, and Dave Bautista all play Krogan. That's a necessity that needs to happen. Maybe Vin Diesel too, you know, throw him in there. because it's all about family. He can talk about like
Krogan is family.
yeah, exactly, dude. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he can play one in the next season, which would be the Krogan Rebellions.
Shit.
Which is after the Rachni War, which is when the Krogan are like, yo, we're fucking badasses, We're let's fucking kick ass. And so they kind of rebel and try to like extend their reach across the galaxy. But then the fucking genophage motherfuckers and the Solarians come in and fuck them up with like a disease that they made. It's fucked up. It's like if people made COVID, kind of. Not really.
Well, yeah,
it's more like it affects their birth rates essentially. It doesn't actually kill Krogan. It just makes them like infertile. It increases the chances of Krogan being infertile. So it really fucks up their population. And the genophage is like a huge part of the Mass Effect trilogy. So that's very important that they touch on that. Next season, we got the Quarian and the Geth. This is obviously the Quarian making the Geth, the AI, super important to the Mass Effect universe. So we have, the Quarian creating the Geth and the Geth revolting. That's some cool shit. And then finally, we have First Contact. And this would just essentially, I would want it to be from like the Turian perspective, not the human perspective.
Yeah. Question for your idea here. You have these different seasons, right? I don't know if you finished with your explanation of them.
I got a few more things, but mostly.
My question is, what is the connecting thread? Because you want it to all set up. Is it the Citadel that's like going to be like a touch base between all of the different like seasons?
I mean, the Citadel will probably be in all of them because,
because with those things like that,
it's like a major thing. And
what I like with those is like when they all kind of connect back, right? Like with an anthology, like there's something that everyone has like a thread that they can tug on.
Well, I mean, they'll all connect.
What if it was
it's all in the same universe,
What if it's like Fargo or True Detective, where the seasons don't connect at all?
That's
interesting.
That's what I want, is like stuff that's like, I don't necessarily, maybe there's like a character or two that crosses over, because especially in like the Rachni War, if they do the Rachni War and the Krogan rebellions, because there's gonna be some crossover there, because Krogan lived for a long time. Asari lived for a long time, so there might be a couple character crossovers, like important characters, especially if there's like the council, might be the same characters in a couple of them.
True.
Because they live a long time. But yeah, for the most part, it's like separate stories. You're following different characters each season for like the most part. But there might be some like side characters that are the same.
So you're gonna have a lot of casting to do then.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. This is my dream right here, right? This is my dream Mass Effect adaptation. Just don't touch Shepard and set up the universe, because I feel like this would be a good way to like get people to want to play the game too. Instead of like just adapting the game, you can set up the universe, make people interested in the universe. And First Contact, what I was going to say is I would want it to be from the Turian perspective instead of the human perspective, because I think that would be like a fun little twist, a little more interesting. But it would one of the main characters would be David Anderson, who's the Captain Anderson in the games, because he's there for First Contact. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to have what's his face that voiced him play him in the show, but it's too old. But yeah, that's my dream Mass Effect pitch. I just want something that's not, if they do like a follow-up, but the game's going to be a follow-up. So
yeah,
I'd rather them like set the universe up. And I think there's just so many like interesting things in the Codex that they could just make a show about. And like they could literally do that. They could literally do a whole show on like any one of these things. Like I'm talking multiple seasons. Like they could do a whole show just about the Quarian and the Geth.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could do a whole like multi-season show about just the Rachni War.
Spoilers doesn't end well.
Yeah, most of these don't end well.
Yeah. Not great.
I mean, depending what side you're on,
Sure.
yeah, that's my dream. It's my dream. It's my dream. And budget up the wazoo. Now, any questions before we
the
move
next
on?
Rings of
Somebody
Power?
else? No, better than Rings of Power. Unfortunately, it sounds like I think Amazon is the one that's like
has the money to do it.
In talks to be making the Mass Effect show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the post-credit teaser, huh? End of the season. Post-credit teasers.
There's not going to be post-credit teasers, bro.
Do you just advertise the game?
They're all separate, dog. They're all separate.
Buy the game.
Yeah,
Your
buy the
local
game
Best
is
Buy.
the
You're not going to show Shepard at like the end of the final season?
Oh, at
like,
the end of the last one? Yeah, you can show Shep. Well, maybe like
But they won't show
like
the head.
like a silhouette. Like a silhouette. They'll be talking
that
about
works.
Shepard. It can literally be the intro of Mass Effect 1 where they're just like where it's Captain Anderson and Donald O'Dina talking about Commander Shepard and like wanting him to be a Spectre, but they just show like a silhouette of a person. That would be fucking incredible. That would be an incredible stinger.
What if they just did like, I don't know.
And then it just says take over as Commander Shepard.
Oh shit.
To save the galaxy in Mass Effect. Oh my god.
Dude.
I can just the fucking intro of Mass Effect of all fucking 3 of them is so incredible. Oh.
Dude,
sounds like you want to play him again.
Right?
I just started the 3rd one yesterday, but I'll get into that.
The start of the 3rd one is great, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to go next?
I got one. It's a short one because the source material is short. So obviously, I would have liked Halo to be a great show, but then it came out and it was that.
What you mean? Peak cinema right there.
Yeah. Peak cinema.
Yeah.
Master Cheeks really showed us the peak. So
instead I'll pivot to a different Microsoft property, and I think Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice would make for a great, not a TV show, but a movie. Because the game itself is only 6 hours long, and a lot of that gameplay, a lot of that that runtime is you swinging your sword at enemies or solving puzzles. So when you really condense it to a story, I think you can easily do that in 2 hours. And
it could make a nice 1.5-hour movie. You know what I'm talking about? Oh. I haven't even finished the game, but it can make one.
It's really good. I think it should. Like,
and this could be like a, Darren Aronofsky type movie.
Yeah.
It's very, very not like rooted in reality. It's because a lot of it is like in her head, and I mean, if you play the game, it's up for debate whether the whole game was in her head or not. Like,
yo, David Fincher, bro.
Absolutely. And so, like, sound would be very important for this movie as it is in the game. So the theater experience would be pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds important. So don't have Christopher Nolan do this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, it'd just be a journey about this woman as she's trying to revive her dead spouse because she's trying to go to Helheim and talk to the goddess Hela. And you just follow. It's a very like singular story. Like it's just going to be her, barely any supporting cast, except for the voices in her head, and there'll occasionally be action. Like she will eventually fight Surtur, but it'll all be building up to fighting Hela, and like intersperse. You learn more and more about her past and what happened to her husband, and I don't know if there'll be any puzzle solving in the movie. It might slow down. Might slow down the pace.
Have you ever seen halfway through the movie they just started solving a puzzle for some reason? She just started doing a crossword, like
the climax of the movie. Have you ever seen 1917?
Oh yeah.
Do you think they can do a one cut?
A full. I mean, yeah. I can.
Are there like there's not like flashbacks and stuff in this game, is there, that they would have to cut to?
When she's talking about her like lover.
Yeah. I think they can still do it because her world is changing like every second. Like things are not things are happening that should not be happening.
Yeah.
And you know, this movie, it's gonna be so non-linear. It's gonna be so hard to follow for for casual. It's gonna turn off a lot of people. But it's all for the art.
Yeah.
And just call the movie, just call it Senua.
Dude,
Just call it
cinema.
Senua.
Yeah.
Cinema.
And who are you thinking to cast Senua?
Who I think who should be playing Senua is the voice actress herself, because she mocaps the character in the game. So
I was just gonna say
she is perfect.
The reason I brought up the one cut, I feel like that would be interesting with like to add to like the effect with all the voices just constantly like, you know, going. I feel like a one cut would really help, would really add to that.
Yeah.
Be really cool.
It really puts you in the perspective of Senua. Like you feel like you are her, hearing all these disembodied voices in your head, telling her like, oh, do this, do that, and like telling her she sucks, and then at the end they encourage her, which is like really dope. I think, yeah, a nice short hour and a half movie.
I think it would do well, to be honest. You know,
that's my pitch.
It's like a mental health push too.
That was inspired, Gaff. I liked that pick a lot. Steven or Eric?
I'll go. Mine is off of my favorite video game series, Zelda. This one would be, I was thinking, I always wanted more of like an in-depth story between Link and the other champions, I think, from Breath of the Wild, right? You kind of get tastes of it here and there. And some of the delivery was all right, but I think there's really some meat on that bone when it comes to their story, and what happened between what you don't see and like slumber when he has to go into the freeze time when he's a freezy boy. I think there's a lot there with that. I think it should be an anime, because I think there's a lot of fighting going on, and I think there's a lot of cool things. And I want the studio that does Demon Hunter to animate it. Or sorry, Demon Slayer. Wait, is it Demon Hunter? Anyways, it's a really popular one. Really popular anime. I just can't remember the name right this second. But they do a really striking visual style, and I think that they could pull that off. For cast, it would be hard. I think Link, there's always the silent protagonist struggle here, because Link is a cipher, right? You put what you want onto Link to be the character, so that would be a hard thing.
How are we characterizing Zelda? I mean, Link here.
Link, I think Link could talk if you did it right. With the other champions.
Chris Pratt, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo already has a working relationship with them.
It would have to be someone who's a little bit underspoken, you know? Like it would be someone who wouldn't be boisterous for sure. That's just not a Link to me. Link is the quiet, strong Phoenix.
Is that what you're thinking?
Dude, that's something of nightmares. I need a Photoshop of that. Just Joaquin Phoenix's face on Link from Breath of the Wild. No. That's awful, man. No, but I think as far as casting goes, I wouldn't choose. I don't like Zelda's voice in Breath of the Wild. That's a me thing. I'm just not a fan.
Something.
Yeah. The sun is setting again, Link.
Oh my god, that fucking shit is so annoying.
I'm just like, be quiet.
The monsters are coming back, Link.
What?
I don't know. That's what happens
writing,
with the sun.
man. I don't know if it's the writing or if it's her delivery, but it grates me on that. Not about that. I think though, you could have a very fun cast. Like there could be a lot of fun moments in between you and the Gorons, and like you could go to different areas through parts of the season, kind of like you would do in Last Airbender, right? Where he's going and visiting different champions' homes and things like that.
Is he
And I think that
collecting
could be really cool.
Korok seeds along the way?
Yes, there will be Korok seeds, and mandatory at least like I don't know 20. Yes,
That would be a good meme if they made a Zelda show and they just like every now and then Link just like bent over and picked up a fucking Korok seed. Just and it's like the same clip that they show.
yeah, they just put it.
Like, it's just his hand like reaching down.
I think it would be cool if it was like self-aware like that too, right? Like they could definitely play some funnies there.
Just pay no mind to it. It
Yeah.
just does it. It moves on.
It just puts the clip from the game on it. Yeah,
It's just literally the same GIF, like of a hand go reaching down and picking up a Korok seed.
yeah. No, I do think there would be a lot of dynamic action scenes that would really fit well with an anime. So, I think you could do a lot of fun with arcs, like I was saying, going to different champions. You'd have the Zora's Domain, the what is it? Mount Doom, I think it's called.
Bro, it doesn't even matter. Zora's Domain's the coolest part in that game.
It was very cool. Yeah, and well, I mean, you know, shield surfing is fun too. Like there could be a lot of fun, like just I feel like this could be a very fun anime. Doesn't necessarily have to really take itself that seriously. But you could have serious moments, right, where you're fighting big baddies. Yeah, I don't know. Cast is hard. Cast is like probably the hardest part of this when I was thinking about it, but I have nothing.
Yeah,
You guys,
we're not casting directors, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's my idea, though. I think it would be kind of a cool thing. Doesn't need to be canon or too serious. It just seeing more of those.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Eric, finish us off here with your video game adaptation that you would love to see.
Okay, let me take you back in time to E3 2014.
Oh goodness.
Nintendo, I believe it was Nintendo Direct. I don't remember what the fuck was that showcase, but Nintendo had, I believe, some direct or something. Smash Bros for 3DS and Wii U.
God.
We had a character reveal, Palutena, and the trailer they were showing was an anime style.
Oh yeah.
And it perfectly showed what a Smash Bros anime could look like, and I want one so bad. I want one so bad, especially after the story mode that we had in Brawl and the story mode we had in Ultimate.
Was it
where they kind
Subspace
of
Emissary?
like Subspace
Yeah.
Emissary, where you see like all the characters interacting and stuff like that, just with no dialogue for some weird reason.
This is
back in the day.
Nintendo.
And then and then fast forward to like I forget when fucking Ultimate came out at this point. Was it 2018?
27. Wait,
No, Ultimate was like
2018.
2018.
Probably
God
2018.
damn.
Yeah.
because 2017 was Switch release. So
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, they showed us a trailer for the story mode, and they showed like the characters talking and stuff. And where I'm like, oh, are we actually gonna have a legit story mode in Smash?
Nope.
And let me tell you, that's like the only
Great
cutscene they ever do that in.
Mm.
Literally, the opening cutscene is the only time they do that.
imagine a game where it's that, like that story where they actually make an adaptation about all of that, and you're playing through that. I don't know.
But for real, I want a Smash Bros anime. I want to see all these characters like interact with each other, and like I don't know like what the story would be for that would be honestly, because there's just gonna be a lot of awesome fights. But like,
Would they be getting Sora
A Goku.
and like and
I hope so.
Goku and Sephiroth
Goku,
and Cloud?
Goku, you'd be a special character.
For
You watch
these
the anime, you get the
movies.
code for it.
I mean, my other pitch I literally just thought up was the Kingdom Hearts anime, not anime, but like a TV show or something,
Movie.
like an animation.
Mm.
I want like a 7 series movie of Kingdom Hearts. It'd be amazing.
I mean, did you
Absolutely
see that,
impossible to follow.
that pilot that leaked like a couple months ago
Of what?
of
Oh,
Kingdom
gosh.
Hearts? It was like a old 2002 pilot for it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see
It
that.
never obviously made it to production, but like there was a whole pilot for it, and it was like, huh,
I wonder why.
it actually seems like it would be interesting.
Amazing.
Now it's like all storyboards, like all drawings and stuff. And like Riku looked fucking weird as hell in it for sure. But
Storyboards have never looked good though. That's the thing. They just
no, yeah,
scribble
of
whatever.
course.
I want Michael Bay to make a Kingdom Hearts movie.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, going back to Smash, I just want to see like these characters interact, bro. Like I want to see. I want to see people get up in arms with like all the Fire Emblem characters, taking up as much screen time as possible.
That would be amazing.
I think just a Kid Icarus show would be good.
That was the thing, like Kid Icarus, like fucking Uprising is great. Like the writing in that game is awesome. And so like even if it's just Kid Icarus, I want more of that too.
For sure.
Speaking of Sakurai,
yeah, I know. Seriously,
that next game.
Give me that next game. Yeah, dude. Smash Bros would be cool though. Like
just in that trailer, you see Pit versus Link in there, and Link is just kicking Pit's ass like hard.
What if it was like Tron, dude, where like somebody gets sucked in to like a fake arcade cabinet of Super Smash Bros. And becomes a fighter in the Smash tournament, and there's all these characters. Oh my god!
No, they gotta stop this because
I don't know about
the
that
Mario movie, because the real life Mario plumber dude is getting sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom, and so he's not the Mario. And then in Jumanji, they get sucked into a video game again, and I don't know how Ready Player One happens.
But Jumanji's good.
No, all right. Jumanji's
good.
Don't stop sucking real life people into the video game
Jumanji
world.
into this. Well, no, I'm not saying the person that gets sucked in becomes one of the other characters. I'm saying he's his own. It's its own thing. He's his own character. He's like, you can have your me. You can have your me.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say he becomes Master Hand, but that works too.
Master Hand. Oh my god.
No,
Master Hand, what a compelling character, man.
Right.
Master Hand.
You could be your me, dude.
Sign language.
Play
bro,
Ultimate.
that's how he
All I'm
talks.
saying, the true ending of that game was wild.
The beginning is just kid just creating his me, like way back on his Wii, and then he gets sucked in, bro.
Do you know what?
Still created me on your Switch.
fucking green light it. Let's fucking go. I need to know. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I don't know. You can like make it so like, I mean, kind of like Ultimate story and like Brawl story, kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Interweave a bit. Intertwine. Yeah, or like in Brawl, like you're trying to save the world from like everyone becoming trophies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then in Ultimate, you're trying to save their spirits. Even though I like trophies a lot more.
I like the trophies. Those were cool.
Yeah, I miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Anime. I just want to see some cool fights. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this, Michael Bay adaptation, Linkin Park will play at the end.
Yes.
Give me Cloud versus Sephiroth versus Sora again.
You're saying anime? You don't want live action? You don't want to see a bunch of live action versions of these characters?
And then get Mark Wahlberg. It's fucking Mario. God,
you know how incredible a live action Sephiroth would be?
No.
God.
Oh my god.
That long ass sword in here.
Who is the live action?
Is there a man on Earth that can fully capture?
And they would have to make that sword. I wouldn't want them to CGI it. I want them to make this ridiculous fucking sword.
Just have live action Sephiroth impaled live action Mario like the trailer.
Oh, Michael Fassbender in there
on his overalls,
Oh yeah,
his overalls. Yeah.
Man,
all right.
I just want to see Cloud versus Sephiroth and Sora just comes in. I just want to do that.
All right, we just went off the rails.
Yeah, all right. That was some good shit. Those were some good. I like those pitches. But
I watched 2 of those.
We do have a hard out.
Which 2 would you watch?
Which 2 would you watch, Steven?
I would watch the Mass Effect one.
Yes.
And mine, to be honest. But I think everyone's kind of watching their own.
I'd probably watch the Hell. I'd go to the theaters to watch Hellblade. Sounds like a cinematic masterpiece waiting to happen.
I don't know. I feel like I'd be freaked out hearing all the voices in my ears.
I mean, yeah, that's why I stopped
definitely
playing the
Oscar
game.
bait.
Same. I mean, that's not. I finished the whole game, but like I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a hard out here for our producer,
Diablo.
so let's get into our crossplay. I'll start by saying I've been playing Mass Effect again. I'm an idiot. I played through the trilogy and then modded it, and then started the trilogy again immediately after finishing. And I'm already back to 3. I'm amazing. I have not been doing much since I moved here, but
look, there's so many new games. Why do you keep playing Mass Effect? There's so many other games.
What is productivity?
Because
time?
There's just something about Mass Effect, man. The game, like, it's so fun.
What is time worth to?
I just love the world. I love the gameplay of all 3 of them. I just love them, man.
I think one is stiff, but
that's what That's what it is about Mass Effect. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not but it's still good. There's just something about Mass Effect, just like there's something about Skyrim, you know.
I will say Skyrim is one of those games that like I do continually go back to every once in a while. So,
but yeah, I finished 2 on my OLED, and I started 3 on my OLED. Oh my god, dude, space looks so fucking rad with the like the actual like the actual black. Holy shit,
Lots of black.
I'm gonna have to watch Star Wars again.
yeah,
space is gonna be so black, you know.
Man, you can start with Andor.
Yeah, finish that out.
Whatever, you know.
Yeah, finish it out.
Mid. All right. Who wants to go next on Crossplay?
I'm like halfway or over halfway Persona 4 Golden before my Game Pass right now, and I'll wait until I'll renew it later. Still good, still hard. It got easier as I got stronger, and I'm definitely playing a lot better than I did 2 years ago. Otherwise, Halo Season 3. I'm the one guy here playing Halo still. It's really good.
I played it. I played Season 3.
Hey, let's go. Bandit's nice. I'm still finding out it's niche in the sandbox, but it's a cool weapon. New big team battle maps. The new big team battle map is great. New arena maps are cool. New game mode is funny because it's basically like gun game. And then at the very end, everyone's just beating each other with skulls, and it's super funny. And the community forge maps.
We'll say,
thank you.
This is the most fun I've had with multiplayer probably since launch.
For sure,
adding a lot of content. So
with all the EXP changes and the challenges, it feels a little more rewarding to play. And playing Master Duel, everyone sucks ass. The decks are just toxic, and that's it for me.
That's it for you? Okay. Eric, what have you been playing?
Honestly, not much really. I'm gonna be honest. Just been busy with a lot
on
of
the
work.
grind.
Yeah, Target.
Target, yeah. Targeting those hours, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I was a little bored last night, so I did decide to boot up Dead Cells in the Steam Deck again. Yes. And yeah, good game. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I didn't really get much far. I only played like an hour, so didn't really do
the Castlevania update for that.
I didn't play that one yet. I don't have that yet.
How have those vinyls been treating you?
They've been vinyling, you know what I mean?
Like which ones? Okay, do you have any video game ones that you can talk about?
Not yet, because video game vinyls are significantly more expensive. That's for sure.
That's weird.
Like I said, like I was gonna get the Kingdom Hearts one, and it's like here's 4 discs for like $150 plus shipping.
Do you think that's because they have more songs?
No,
than,
it's
like
because I know
movies. Like
I know the answer. I know the answer.
You have to carve more songs into the disc. That's how they make vinyls.
What's the secret answer is people will pay for that. The nerds who want the video game collectibles will pay extra for that. That's really the answer.
There's that. And it's also because like I feel like it's probably like niche too, so they need to like make money on that stuff as well.
Perhaps, yeah. Because they know like a Queen vinyl is probably going to sell way more than like a game vinyl. So
it's like the niche of niches, because like video game nerds, vinyl nerds, video game vinyl nerds.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to like figure out which one I want to buy.
That's a very good point.
I'm trying to figure out what game vinyl I want to buy first. Do I buy the Persona 5 one? Do I buy the Kingdom Hearts one with that exorbitant price?
Yes.
Do I buy the Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker one?
You buy the Kingdom Hearts one and you never regret it and don't look back.
See, I would, but like for some stupid reason, Square Enix doesn't provide free shipping, even though it's like an almost $200 purchase.
That's bullshit.
You mean money hungry Square Enix doesn't provide free shipping?
Yeah.
Even Nintendo's store provides free shipping over $50. And I'm just like, come on, man.
Family friendly, dude.
All right, if that's it, Eric, Steven, finish us off.
How is Diablo 4?
All right, yes. This is something that I've been looking
KFC,
forward to. Dude.
KFC slaps.
It was fine. It was fine, right? Like, tell you what, that Sweet Lightning, maybe the best damn drink, carbonated drink. If you like peach, right? If you like peach. Otherwise, I mean, the sandwich was fine. I didn't get the double down because that's just insanity.
That looks like a heart attack waiting to happen.
Yeah, no.
I looked it up. I'm just like, that's no.
Jesus, I watched him eat it, and he couldn't even finish it. He couldn't even finish the sandwich because it was just.
Why are you watching him eat?
Is that how he got his beta code?
Yeah, that's how he was streaming it. I wasn't like watching him eat to just. Do you know
I
what
thought
I mean?
he already
Like,
pre-ordered the game.
It was like a Discord call. This guy and like, all right, now eat the sandwich. Like, let's go. Come on, let's go. No, he was doing his part. It was like a St. Patrick's Day thing.
His part.
Yeah, his
Solemn duty.
yeah. He failed at his solemn duty. Spoilers. He also did not recommend it. I said, good job. You just took in your sodium intake for 2 days in one sandwich. And he's like, oh, I don't worry about salt stuff. Diablo 4.
Diablo 4.
Yeah. The code, came with it. You had to use the app. It was not that bad. Took a bit after I got it to actually come to my email. I played as the I guess sorceress, sorcerer, whatever that class is. But right now I'm level 11, I think. You can get to, so the beta is the first big zone of the game. But it's a large map, right? Like there's a lot to do in it. It's mostly like a tundra, like a frozen tundra kind of zone. One thing I did notice is just like, and I hope it does change with when you go to new zones past like level 25, I think ish, because that's like the cap here. And maybe I haven't gotten far enough in the zone to see if there's like any more diversity in it, but there's a decent amount. The art style is really striking. It runs well. I'm playing on the Series S right now, so on that one, it runs really well. Solid. I think it's running 60 frames. I haven't noticed any dips or anything. The audio design is much better, I will say, than I would say 3. Obviously, there's a lot of steps forward in tech here.
Yeah.
So the time they've
3
taken,
was like a decade ago, right?
yeah, the time they've
Almost a
taken
decade.
is not something to be like, oh, they didn't just take that long for nothing. You can definitely notice this is a next gen Diablo, or current gen, I guess now, but there's definitely a more serious and gritty tone to it than 3. Like 3 kind of went away with that from 2. More matching to like a 2. Lilith is back. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows who Lilith is. She basically made she's the creator of the world, but like she's also the incarnation of hatred. So
I've heard she's hot.
No, I mean I don't think so, but like
Oh, they didn't make her into
Okay.
waifu? Wow.
Dude, I heard she was hot,
some
bro.
people look okay. All right, the crossover here is Lady Dimitrescu, waifus. People will probably enjoy Lilith waifu. Not my thing. So,
Yo, you're telling me? Oh, calm the.
no,
Nah, she's pretty.
no,
Yo,
not my thing. Not my thing.
She's
Not my thing.
fucking hot, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't get over the
Babe.
skin and the horns and
The horns.
Dude, the
I'm just
horns
not-
are the.
I'm just not into it.
Dude.
And you only see it
Think
for a
of all the
little bit.
coats you can hang off that.
To be fair, you know, babe, hang up your coat. Just whoop.
Have you heard any Halsey music?
No,
Oh,
no Halsey music yet.
Damn.
Although I'm hoping in the campaign you do. That would be really cool.
Hope
Really
so.
dope. There's a really cool opening cinematic. They always kill it with the cinematics in Blizzard.
Yep.
There's a couple of them actually. The idea is like you're thrown into this as someone who is helping a struggling town that has a problem with a demon infestation, right? And you'll help them out by defeating this one dungeon in there. And then you go back and you start drinking and having a good time, and then turns out they poisoned your drink with blood petals, which is like her curse basically. And then they try to kill you, and some dude helps you escape, and they're part of a church. I would say like it's definitely more relies on like their pseudo religion thing in there. It's definitely more heavy on that. I don't know. Combat I want to get into is just it definitely feels, because the dodge is on a like slower cooldown now than it was in Diablo 3. So if you're like a magic class, which I am, you can find yourself in situations that get sticky really, really quick. And I'm not playing on hardcore. I'm only playing on the first world tier too, because you can. There's, I guess, 4 world tiers right now for it. So I'm just playing on the first world tier because I don't need to be punished yet, right? Before I understand the systems. There's a lot of people playing on hardcore, which just means your character dies when you die and you have to start over completely, which sounds terrible, but whatever. Like I said, so the dodge is on a higher cooldown now. So like, it's very hard to get out of situations if you're not planning them correctly and not kiting, so you're pulling the enemies with your spells. Range characters, I don't know. I haven't tried a melee class yet, so I'm hoping it's a little different, and I'm just a glass cannon, so I guess that's probably why I'm getting hit so hard. The skill tree is back, right? So you've got, it's not as in-depth as anything like a Path of Exile, not even close. But it is just like a tree. You have one drop down main skill, and then it branches off into like, all right, this one does vulnerability on an enemy when you do it. This one does a freeze, or like things like that. So I'm hoping they improve on that a little bit with like the Paragon system that they had, which is like the end game thing for 3, which had just a bunch more different skills to give you percentages and things like that. But combat does feel fluid. I haven't seen, like I said, any frame drops when enemies come on screen. Enemy density feels a little lighter than 3 for some reason. I don't know if that's a deliberate choice, or if I just haven't run into high enough level content to get to that. But there's a nut, and it feels about right. Skill tree, like I said, I'm a little disappointed in the skill tree with like customization, because you don't have too many options when it comes to things like that. It's like, I'm gonna put all of the bonuses for one thing that I like. It's not like, all right, here's 2 appealing bonuses on the one skill that give you different things. It's the one, and it has just like 3 bonuses on the edge. But yeah, so that's customization. The character customization, while I'm thinking about it, is decent, and I don't know if they just made it that way because they're going to wipe these characters. To my knowledge, they're wiping the open beta characters, so well, I guess this is like early access, but early access with chicken.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the people who bought the thing, right? Because they're like, okay, I'm going to get to level 25, because it is a medium amount of content that you have in there.
So yeah, it doesn't carry over.
I don't think it does.
Damn.
So someone comments can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure. But you have then, yeah, so I've been doing the Frost Sorceress. So I've also, because you can refund up until level 15-ish, like your skills for free. So I'm going to go and play around with like the different elements and things like that. But your basic attack is like a nothing, like an arcane, like a magic missile kind of thing until you pick one. And the way they have 6 skill slots now versus like, I think there was a little more in 3. I don't know if you can change like the bars when you get later on, if you can just swap the skill bar to do more. I kind of hope so, but with the skill tree that I saw, I don't know if you're going to need to. So it seems like you're going to be more just based around the 6 that you have. I think the newest thing here to point out, I think, would be like the world events that go on, and then having people show up in my game. Like, I was in a city, and I'm like, okay, who is this person? It's just like a warrior. Going up and talking to different people. And then I think when I was doing a public event, I had someone show up because I was getting my shit wrecked, and a warrior came up and helped me out, and we beat the event, and that was kind of cool to see. But it's kind of like a destiny in that sense, right? You're walking around a patrol zone, and people can just join up on this event. It does scale up when you get people joining the event, like the enemies get a little bit harder, which is cool. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I want to there's a world boss at the end of it, and there's also a like a bunch of dungeons and different like public events. So that's the big thing I want to touch on, and I guess I'll maybe come back to it next week when we have the bigger open beta too for everyone. Right now I have the one character level 11. I'm really digging it. I think they did a lot with the dialogue. Just there's a lot more interesting dialogue going on between like the NPCs and their lives. And I actually kind of give a little bit of a shit about the story nowadays.
Whoa!
Like three really was just throwaway with the story, in my opinion.
Yes, it was.
This one I actually kind of give a little bit of a shit about the story. So I'm really interested to see now where the story goes after because there's like more than one main quest, but you only have access to like the one main narrative right now. So
Okay.
we're following that one up until level 25. I do think I want to try multiplayer. I don't know if maybe next weekend we can set something up like a stream. That would be cool to jump into the open beta.
Crossplay and progression.
Yeah,
No?
crossplay and progression, which is great to see. And I'll probably try it out on PC next weekend, just because.
Yeah, I saw like on the Steam Deck subreddit, people were like getting it to run on the Steam Deck. So like, if it runs pretty good on there, I might have to pick that up on there one day.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks fantastic. The game does. It's giving me real big Diablo 2 vibes. I'm kind of hoping they can adjust some skill tree stuff before. I doubt it, but like, it would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
When's the full release again?
Full release is June 6th, 23rd.
Oh, 6/6.
Yeah, which means 666. Yeah, because 2 times 3.
Yeah, 2 times 3. Yeah.
Yeah, clever.
6 is 6.
Yeah. Right.
And you thought
Right.
11/11/11 was a good release date.
Yeah. Overall, really good impression so far. I was kind of already gonna pick up the game, but now I'm more encouraged given what I've played. So
good to hear. I don't love that it's not on my fantasy critic team. But you know, we can't all. I can't have all the winners. You know. So, speaking of winning, my team's winning. For those
cool.
of you who are listening.
I thought it was going to be something more interesting that you were going to say here.
No. The Resident Evil 4 points haven't like officially been added.
Yeah. Although I kind of feel like that's a cheat, man.
92's there.
I don't know. I feel like if you're picking a game, you should play. You know what I mean?
The two highest scoring games right now in the Fantasy Critic are remakes, so I don't want to hear about it. It's not just me.
Freaking remakes, dude.
I don't know. I thought you said you ain't playing Resident Evil or Dead Space. You know,
right?
You have
he doesn't even play the game that he picks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
75 followers on Twitch, and I'll stream a scary game, and maybe I'll make it one of those. Maybe we'll make a poll. Dead Space, Resident Evil 4, or Scorn.
Oh my god. You don't want to do Scorn, man. I won't even put you through that. Oh god.
All right. Well, I know, Steven, you got to get out of here. So that was a nice brisk episode. Yeah. I enjoyed my time, though. This is some good discussions, some good adaptations. For those of you watching on YouTube, make sure, in the comments, maybe let us know what video game adaptation you might want to see. Let us know what you've been playing as well. And make sure to check out all our other content on all our social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, other stuff on YouTube, and go to podpage.com/x to interact to find everything that you'll ever need and more. Until next time, thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Listening.
Popeyes is better than KFC.